Welcome to the CUBIE Conversation, where we break down how waste removal actually works and why it doesn't need to be complicated. Today we're talking about something almost everyone doing a renovation runs into: the skip bin. The big metal box, the driveway blockage, and that quiet pressure to finish before the hire period runs out.
Yeah, skip bins solve one problem and create a bunch of others. Tight hire windows, access headaches, surprise fees. It's a constant negotiation, and most people just put up with it because they think there's no alternative.
And that's what we're unpacking today. Because there's a newer way of doing this: CUBIE. It might look like a skip bag, but in practice it's a reset of how waste removal works. Let's start with the biggest frustration: time. Yeah, with a traditional skip bin, you're locked into a hire window.
Exactly. The job stops being about the renovation and starts being about beating the clock. If the job slows down, waiting on tiles, trades, weather, then you're still paying for the bin, just sitting there.
So how does CUBIE handle that?
Well, CUBIE works on a really straightforward model. You buy the bag up front, fill it on your timeline, and book collection when you're ready.
So no daily charges ticking away in the background.
Exactly. You only pay the fixed collection cost when you're ready.
Okay, so access is another big one, especially in inner city areas.
Totally. Skip bins and skip trucks are large and need space. That's why bins get refused in narrow streets or tight terraces. CUBIE bags are delivered flat packed, and for collection, they just need to be placed within about 4 meters of the road or driveway.
And that's why terraces, townhouses, and narrow streets are not an issue. Yeah.
Exactly. You can also place the bag closer to where the work's happening instead of dragging waste across the property.
Okay, so let's address the obvious question. It's a bag. Can it actually handle heavy materials like bricks, tiles, and concrete?
Yeah, it can. For example, the CUBIE one is designed for heavy materials and is rated up to a ton, ideal for things like bricks, tiles, and soil. There are also other bag sizes for lighter or bulkier waste, so you've got options whether it's a small cleanup or a bigger project.
So it's really about flexibility, being able to adapt as the job evolves, which is how renovations actually go.
Exactly.
And cost-wise, how does it stack up against a skip bin?
The big difference is certainty. Collection is a flat, upfront price, no daily charges, no surprise extra fees. You know what it's going to cost before you start, and it doesn't change just because your timeline does.
That's a big shift from how this usually works.
Yeah, you're not penalized for taking your time, which means you can work at a realistic pace instead of rushing just to avoid extra fees.
So who does this actually suit best?
Well, anyone with a renovation that isn't linear. So weekend projects, stage builds, inner city homes, or people who just don't want a metal bin dictating their timeline.
So flexibility is really the key benefit.
That's it, less pressure, fewer compromises.
So to wrap it up, if you've got tricky access, a slow-moving renovation, or you just want waste removal to work around you,
CUBIE makes a lot of sense. It removes the rush and replaces it with control.
this feels like how it should have worked all along. Once you see it, it's hard to understand why it ever worked any other way.
Yeah, exactly. It just makes more sense.
That's it for this episode of the CUBIE Conversation. If you're navigating a renovation or cleanup and want a less stressful way to deal with waste, you can learn more at cubie.com.au.